And I don't understand, Julia, I'll be quite honest. I don't understand why a lot of 9/11 people crap on and crap on about, and I see it on Facebook every day. You know, they're saying, oh, you know, this thing about the tower or that thing about the tower or this, and then. Listen, we know it was an inside job. We've got the Alaskan report. We've got all the evidence we need. Get it to your police. Even if you have to form a group of 40 people and take it down to your local police department.
Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you, do you still have your film? It was made a few years ago, but still extremely relevant. We were talking before we started the interview about this group that you've become interested in. I understand now why you have such an interest with the police, having, you know, so much of that in your family. And
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that, or how they have responded to your ideas about your Incontrovertible movie?
Well, they're called Police for Freedom. I think you can policeforfreedom.org. I think they started in Spain, and this is more COVID related than 9/11 related. I think the police were getting fed up with being asked to police things that were effectively unlawful, you know, stopping people from, you know, basically infringing on human rights. And so I looked at the website, and there's about 7 chapters around the world. There's one in Australia, there's one in Holland, there's one I think in Germany, but not one in England yet. Anyway, I just emailed all of them and sent a copy of Incontrovertible to all of them, because Incontrovertible is full of police officers. That's the,
yes,
I suppose, the USP of Incontrovertible. It's full of police. And I got an email back from the Australian chapter the other day and said, oh, wow, thanks for sending it to us. We'll have a look. I've not heard back from them yet. They might look at it and think, oh, 9/11 conspiracy movie. I don't know. I hope not. I did make it clear that it's full of police officers. But I did stress to them, and would stress to anybody, to, especially if they know about 9/11, if they know about Building 7 especially, to view COVID in the wider context, with that background, if you like. I personally don't understand how anyone could take COVID outside of that context. 9/11, 7/7, many other things. You know, we question Manchester, Paris, blah blah blah, but certainly there's 2. And then think, oh, this thing's just turned up by accident, and we're all going to get jabbed, and everything's going to be rosy in the garden. No. So anyway, I notified these people, but it's nice at least to see some kind of police reaction to what's going on, and hopefully if we can wake them up one way or the other, then that'll be great. It might be too late. I'm not kidding. I mean, it'll be 20 years in September, won't it?
Yes, it will. I think that your film has a good chance of reaching them. It's very poignant, and it really sticks with you. And the accounts from the either people who were there or people who were involved, like Mary Revelle, I really think that you have a good chance of reaching people with that documentary, and I think it's fabulous. I am going to include it, and again, include it in the link. If y'all haven't seen it, it has a great trailer. There's another great message to UK firefighters with a lot of information there with it. And I've seen the whole thing a couple times through, and it's totally worth it. I think, Tony, what you've done is so important, and I thank you so much for your work, but also for sharing your opinions and your perspective, because, you know, everybody that I know, you know, who's in our movement, we've all got opinions, but I appreciate that we can disagree, respect each other, have different experiences, and we still are working toward trying to raise awareness, even if we don't reach critical mass. If we can help people to understand and question things within their own communities, I agree that is the heart of the grassroots.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm a scratch record, and I've been saying this since 2000, whatever it was. Get to your police, get to your firefighters, get to the guys that can matter, and the ladies who can matter as well, and obviously, and forget your politicians. I mean, but you know, firefighters, but especially now, you know, their families being potentially threatened, and I think once they see this crisis in context and the history to it, it might make them think again. And I think they're starting to as well, not because of 9/11, but because of COVID, but which I think personally is another false flag. I'm 99% certain. But yeah, I mean, with Incontrovertible, we had 200 people I could have possibly spoken to, but we just can't fit them into a film. And so we maybe about 6 who were booked to do the film, and then just dropped out because they were nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And you can understand why.
Yeah.
You know.
Very understandably so.
But the ones we've got are very good and typical. And typical of the police officers I've since shown it to, who have turned around and said, "Oh yeah, shit," you know. It's important that they see something like that, because when a policeman sees his fellow colleagues, or a police lady sees their fellow colleagues talking about that, it has a greater impact than just maybe you or I crapping on about it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. people, and it was great. I loved it, absolutely loved it, and got very drunk. It was great, absolutely. I know I love California, and I love the States, and yeah, it's great.
Tony, I hope someday I get to meet you in person and we'll chat and do this again. Absolutely. I am grateful to and feel sorry for anyone that watched our whole thing all the way through.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them as well. Yeah.
Tony, this has been great. I'm going to sign off here, and thank you so much again. Keep up your good work and continue to be as big of a pain in the ass as you can.
You're welcome. My wife will vouch for that every second of the day.
God bless her.
Yeah. Have you pressed the magic button yet? Are we off now or not?
I'm going to press the magic button right now.
Okay.
See you guys around.